from the comfort of your home, do you think about where your water comes from and how clean it is? Do you turn off the tap while brushing your teeth or let the water run until you decide to take a shower? What if we told you that in the not-so-distant future, you might have to walk miles to get water for your daily needs? A time will come when we won't have an endless supply of water at our disposal. We need to understand how fragile our water systems are and what damage we've done to them. Welcome to Talks, Tales, and Truths. Today we'll tell you a story about water. The year is 2025. You wake up in your home in Delhi, your day starts like any other day. But there is one big difference. There is no water in your house. For the first time ever, there is no water in your house. You step out and join the queue at the nearest water kiosk. The wait is long. The next kiosk is far away. The tankers are late. Now you know what millions of women around the world go through each day. Welcome to their reality. In 2025, nearly 2 billion people around the world face a dire reality: absolute water scarcity. That means having less than 500 cubic meters of water per person per year. It's not just numbers, it's millions struggling to find water to drink, cook, and clean. And it's not just those living with scarcity. Over 2/3 of the world's population could face water stress by 2025, where there is simply not enough water to meet everyday needs. By 2050, we may be facing a global water crisis. Today, more than 2 billion people lack access to safely managed drinking water, and a staggering 4.4 billion people live without adequate sanitation. This leads to health crises and prevents communities from thriving. The World Health Organization says that every year, 1.9 million people die prematurely from illnesses related to water, sanitation, and hygiene. These numbers are projected to increase dramatically in the years to come. Climate change worsens these challenges, causing extreme droughts and unpredictable weather. Pollution from industries and agriculture poisons freshwater supplies. And over-extraction drains rivers and aquifers faster than they can refill. The result? Water stress, droughts, famines, displacement, conflicts, and mass migrations. How did we reach such a point? Our story goes back decades. Here's a look at the key factors driving the global water crisis. Number 1. Population growth. Since 1950, the world's population has quadrupled. By 2050, it will likely reach 9.7 billion. With more people come more demands on water resources. Number 2, urbanization. More than half of us now live in cities. And cities need massive amounts of water for their residents. The demand is only growing higher. Number 3, industrialization. Manufacturing and industry use huge amounts of water for processes. As countries develop, their thirst for water grows. Number 4, agriculture. Nearly 70% of freshwater withdrawals are used for farming, and as the world gets richer, diets become more meat-heavy, requiring even more water. Number 5, climate change. Rising temperatures increase evaporation, shifting weather patterns, and extreme weather events reduce water availability and make water management more difficult. And number 6, water waste and loss. Leaky pipes, inefficient irrigation, and other losses account for a significant portion of wasted water. It's a complex problem with wide-ranging effects. Can we solve it? Yes, we can. And some parts of the world are already showing the way. Let's take a look. Ethiopia is building the largest water harvesting project in the world. When complete, it will cover some 8,800 square kilometers across 4 woredas or districts in the Oromia region. Dubbed the Great Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, the GERD project aims to store water from the nearby Koka and Zwaya rivers and divert it to farmlands further inland. Once completed, the dam will also generate electricity for Ethiopia and its growing population. Then we have Singapore, which is running out of water. The tiny island nation has just 535 cubic meters of renewable water resources annually per person. That's less than 1/10 of the amount deemed necessary for human consumption. So Singapore has invested heavily in water recycling. In 2015, 59% of its domestic wastewater was recycled and used for industrial processes. The country plans to raise this figure to 70% by 2030. Singapore also imports water from Malaysia and Australia. Australia, on the other hand, is battling severe water shortages. The country is currently experiencing its worst drought in over a century. Compounding this crisis is a severe water shortage in the southeast, home to two-thirds of its 26 million population. The Murray-Darling Basin, the country's equivalent of the Nile, has shrunk by two-thirds in the last few decades. The Australian government is working to limit urban water usage and boost supply through desalination. The country is also spending millions of dollars on water infrastructure to transport water from wetter regions to the dry ones. Indonesia is another country facing water woes. On the densely populated island of Java, where 57% of the population lives, water resources have been depleted by excessive extraction and pollution. To tackle this problem, the Indonesian government has launched a massive reforestation program. The goal is to restore degraded lands and replenish groundwater resources. What are the lessons here? For starters, invest in water infrastructure. This includes everything from building dams and reservoirs to improving irrigation systems and treating wastewater. This is crucial for efficient water use and storage. Encourage water-saving technologies and practices, such as drip irrigation and low-flow fixtures. This can significantly reduce water consumption in agriculture and households. Prioritize water-intensive industries and agriculture to reduce demands during dry periods. And here are some more lessons. Regulate groundwater extraction to prevent overpumping and land subsidence. Address water pollution by investing in wastewater treatment and regulating industrial discharges. Raise public awareness about water conservation and the impacts of water scarcity. Promote rainwater harvesting and water-efficient landscaping. Develop drought-resistant crops to reduce water use in agriculture. Invest in desalination and other water supply augmentation measures. It's a daunting task and the timeline is tight. But we have seen what can be done. One example is Israel. Despite being surrounded by water-stressed nations, Israel has achieved water security. How? Through advanced technologies, drip irrigation, water-efficient farming methods, and desalination, Israel now has more than enough water for its citizens. There is another success story, that of Singapore. As mentioned earlier, the country has turned the challenge of water scarcity into an opportunity for innovation. From building desalination plants to developing water-efficient technologies, Singapore has invested heavily in research and development. Today, it is a global leader in water technology and attracts top talent from around the world. But it's not just about technology, it's also about policy. Countries like Australia and Canada have implemented strict water regulations and pricing policies that have helped conserve water and reduce demand. Australia, for instance, has introduced water meters and tiered pricing systems that incentivize consumers to use water efficiently. There are also individual actions that can make a difference. From fixing leaky taps to reducing water-intensive gardening, every drop counts. Educating children about water conservation and encouraging them to become water ambassadors can also help. And voting for leaders who prioritize water security and environmental protection is crucial. Supporting organizations that work on water conservation and restoration projects can also be impactful. Water scarcity is a global issue, and it will require a global response. We must work together to develop innovative solutions, share best practices, and support each other in our efforts to conserve this precious resource. You might wonder how you can contribute to solving such a massive problem. Well, here are a few ways to get started. First, stay informed. Educate yourself about the water crisis in your region and around the world. Understand the causes and consequences of water scarcity. Support organizations that are working to address the water crisis. Donate to water-related projects or volunteer your time. Here are a few more things you can do. Reduce your own water footprint. Conserve water in your daily life at home and in your community. Advocate for change. Encourage your local leaders to prioritize water security and environmental protection. Spread awareness. Share information about the water crisis and encourage others to take action. Every effort, no matter how small, can make a difference. Together, we can ensure that everyone has access to this vital resource. As Nelson Mandela once said, we can't force people to change. We can lead by example. Let us all be the change we want to see in the world when it comes to water conservation.